Alright guys, the dust is pretty much settled on this, so let's talk about the TwitchCon Foam Pit and the injuries that a streamer named Adriana Chechik suffered because of it. TwitchCon is a convention put on by Twitch.tv that brings together all sorts of people from all over Twitch. It's usually a magnet for drama, since all the big streamers are in one place for a week. But this year's TwitchCon had something worse than the usual petty fights and drunken rumors. This TwitchCon ended with someone seriously injured. So what happened? Well, if you've been to any gaming convention, you'll know that there's always all sorts of booths, all with their own unique gimmick to try and get people's attention. Normally, this takes the form of free stuff, attractive staff, comfy seating, or anything else that will appeal to the average gamer. But for some reason at TwitchCon, they decided to go for something a little bit more dangerous. In a booth that seems to have been jointly set up by Lenovo and Intel, there was a foam pit, which was set up with 2 padded plinths, so that 2 people could stand on the plinths and hit each other with foam rods. I think rods is a good way to describe it. Basically, they had like marshmallows on the end of a stick. Anyway, the objective was to knock the other person off the plinth and into the foam pit. Sounds like a normal bit of family fun, right? Well, unfortunately, it seems like this foam pit was really badly designed. People who were there described the foam pit as being less than or around a foot deep, set up on a pad which rested on the concrete floor. Now, I don't work at Joe's Foam Pit Emporium, but I can spot a dangerous foam pit, and from that description, this thing was a death trap. People seriously underestimate how bad a fall, even a small one, can injure you. And 1 foot of foam? Well, I don't think that's going to do much to stop a fully grown adult on the way down. And well, yeah, it turned out exactly like you'd think. It went fine for a while, then the injuries started to happen. A streamer named Lock Finesse tweeted out that she had dislocated her knee in the foam pit, saying, "Listen guys, I promise I'm okay. Catch me beeping around TwitchCon." But the biggest injury at TwitchCon was a few magnitudes worse than a dislocated knee. Twitch streamer Adriana Chechik broke her back in 2 places. Now I'm going to show you guys the video, but for your own sanity, I'm going to cut out the few seconds where she actually hits the ground and hurts herself.
Oh my gosh! Brown! Great victory there. I can't get out. Are you okay? She's held down by the pitfall. Medic!
Gravity.
No, she's fine.
All right, make sure she is okay. Get her out of the pit.
Landed on her tailbone.
Yeah.
Now she lives in the pit now. I kind of think.
She jumps in, hits the ground hard, then can't get out. With hindsight, we know that she broke her back in 2 places. But in the moment, it was almost like the announcers were making fun of her, which, I mean, they didn't know, and that's a really awkward situation to be in. So I can't say that I blame them for floundering a little bit. But Adriana Chechik was in serious pain in that video. Later, she announced the severity of her injuries on Twitter. "Well, I broke my back in 2 places, and I'm getting surgery to put a meter rod in for support today. Send your support. When it rains, it pours, and I'm definitely feeling the rain right now." Then, after the surgery was completed, so surgery went well, 5 hours and 30 minutes. More fusions than expected, bones completely crushed, and nerve damage to my bladder. Hopefully I'll be able to pee again in the near future. No more adult activity, probably. Had some bleeding around the bone, but overall, doing good. However, despite her serious injuries, just a day later, Adriana Chechik was able to walk for the first time, tweeting, "Today was so hard, I walked. I passed out after I brushed my teeth and had to be carried back, but baby got her dancing shoes. It was so exhausting, I've slept all day since." Modern medicine is amazing, isn't it? To go from such serious injuries to walking the next day, that's an amazing recovery. Even now, just a couple months later, and she's already returned to Twitch streaming. I can't say that most people would have the drive to do that. But there is one more devastating detail. When Adriana was taken to the hospital, she was pregnant, but unfortunately because of her injuries and the surgeries she had to have, the baby did not make it. So this foam pit seriously injured Adriana, but it cost the life of her unborn child. I can't imagine how devastating that must have been to learn, on top of all the other bad news she got. Seriously, I don't think there are words for how awful something like this is, especially when it was so avoidable. As I said earlier, the foam pit was put up by Lenovo and Intel in some kind of joint venture. As companies always do, they had anyone who wanted to use the foam pit sign a waiver, probably saying you won't sue if you get hurt. So does that mean that Adriana can do nothing? I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that it doesn't. I mean, it was clearly dangerous to anyone who looked at the pit and gave it more than a second's thought. Who would actually think that 1 foot of foam padding would stop adult human beings from feeling the impact of the concrete floor below? I would say that they were lucky it didn't kill anyone, except it literally led to the death of an unborn child. So yeah, it kind of did kill someone. Clearly dangerous, and in my opinion, probably negligent. I'm sure that Adriana has some lawyers that could make quick work of that waiver given the circumstances. Now, I hesitated to make this video because I wasn't sure if the situation was going to devolve. I wanted to make sure that Adriana was going to be okay and also see if she was going to file a lawsuit. However, I can't find any reporting on a lawsuit, so I'm left to wonder if maybe they settled things behind the scenes, or if Adriana is just focusing on her recovery before doing anything as stressful as a lawsuit. What do you guys think? Does she have a case? Even if she does, it would be an uphill battle. Going up against Intel, Lenovo, Twitch, it would be a very big lawsuit and probably very stressful. So I can't blame her if she hasn't done it yet. All in all though, this situation was completely avoidable, and I'm left wondering how something like this could even happen. How did no one at Intel, Lenovo, or Twitch, or even the venue see the foam pit as the danger that it was? Was there no one going around and checking these booths for safety? A lot of people have said that we shouldn't blame Twitch for what happened because it wasn't their booth, but it was their convention. What do you guys think? They should have been looking out for the safety of everyone. So when it comes down to who has responsibility over it, certainly Lenovo and Intel, who built the foam pit, would probably have the most because they were the ones who actually built the foam pit and put it there as part of their booth. But you gotta think Twitch probably had to approve that. Somebody at Twitch had to sign off on like a foot deep foam pit on top of concrete and go, "Yup, that looks perfectly safe. There's no way anybody could get injured here." And that's an underreported thing. And with that thought, I'll leave you guys. Do you think that Twitch should take more responsibility for this? I do. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and God bless you.